to be making the classic French dessert, the Mille Feuille. For the pastry part, you will need 2 teaspoons of powdered sugar, a little bit of water, some cooking spray, and some puff pastry. Now for the puff pastry, you can make it yourself, but I find it's easier to just buy it store-bought. It just tastes just as good. First step is to grease our foil-lined baking sheet with our cooking spray, and we're just gonna grease it like that. And then we're gonna take out our pastry. And again, you just bought this at the store. Normally they come in rectangles, but we couldn't find the rectangles, so I just got this template and I just used a knife and then cut it into some rectangles. You're going to need 3 of the same size, and you're just going to lay them out on your baking sheet. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to use a fork to put holes in all of the sheets of pastry. By poking the surface of our pastry, it makes sure that it doesn't rise that much in the oven, which there are other ways to do that. Like a lot of people just put another baking sheet on top and then cook it like that, but I prefer to do it this way because I want to see it turn brown. And either way, it'll still taste the same. Now that we got all of our holes poked in, we're going to brush the pastry with some water. We have a brush here. Just gonna brush it. And what this is going to do is it's going to stick the sugar on. So now that we have our water, we're going to get our tiny little sieve. And we're going to get our powdered sugar. And we're just going to scoop it up like this. And we're going to dust the pastry with powdered sugar and make it snow. Okay, so now that we're done with the powdered sugar, we're going to put this in the center of our preheated 400-degree oven for about 15 minutes. Into the oven. And now we wait. We're going to make the crème pâtissière for our Mille Feuille, which is the cream layer. And for this we will need 2 cups of milk, 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, about half a cup of flour, 7/8 of a cup of powdered sugar, 1½ teaspoons of vanilla, 4 egg yolks, and 3 tablespoons of butter. Now in a saucepan we're going to be adding the 2 cups of milk, but we're going to only add 1½ into the saucepan and leave the other half for later. So about that much. And we're also going to add the vanilla. And then we're going to put this on our stove and heat it until simmering, but not boiling. Okay, now that we have our milk simmering and also the sheets are out of the oven, can they see? We're going to put our egg yolks into this bowl. So now that we have our 4 egg yolks cracked in, we're going to add our 7/8 cup of powdered sugar. And we're just going to mix this, just like that. And once that's combined, we're going to get a separate bowl. These 2 right here. And we're going to add the cornstarch to the flour. Now that we have this mixed up and this mixed together, we're going to add the flour into the egg mixture. And then we're going to mix it. And then we're also going to add our milk. Here's our milk. We're just going to add that. Now that the milk is steaming, we're going to add about 1/4 of a cup. And while we're mixing, we're going to add the hot milk. We're going to add the entire thing into our hot milk mixture. And we're just going to stir it until it gets thick. Just keep stirring. this to thicken up a little more. And then we'll be right back. So we know the cream is ready when it coats the back of the spoon, like so. So we're going to turn off the heat, stir a little, and we're going to bring you back at the station. Now that our creme patisserie is done, see how thick it is? We're going to mix it a little to get the steam out. And then we're going to add this to our little bowl with our butter, which I have just like this. And we're going to dab the top with it, and this prevents the skin from forming when it cools down. We'll put this in the fridge for about 30 minutes or the freezer for 15. Now we're going to do my favorite part, which is assembling the Mille Feuille. So we're going to get the sheets that we baked in the oven. They're nice and crispy, and you can see like the sugar on them. And we're going to put one down. I'm going to put this one down. Now we're going to get our cream, and we're going to put a layer. So now that we have our second layer filled with cream, we're going to take our last sheet and we're going to flip it over so the smooth side's facing up, and we're going to place it right on top. Now we're going to get our icing. We cut a hole there and we're just going to put it right on top. So now we're going to draw lines with our cocoa. So now that we have our cocoa lines drawn on here, we're going to get a toothpick and we're just going to drag it this way to create a design. And now we're going to do it the opposite way. The other way again. And then we're going to keep doing this.
So basically my camera ran out of memory, so I couldn't film myself showing the final product, but here's a picture. Enjoy!